Hello, everyone. There's some interesting stuff happening this Saturday morning, so I was planning on not working today, but now we're going to work. Uh, thanks to Evil Geniuses. All right, shout out, by the way, to Alienware for sponsoring this video and all the videos that I do. You can go check them out at this link. It helps me out when you do. But without further ado, Evil Geniuses tweeted this morning. Evil Geniuses takes great pride in our commitment to competitive performance and talent development. After the outcome of our 2023 spring split season, we will be making roster changes that fully align with this commitment. We will continue to share updates as we look forward to building up our team and preparing for summer split. The community immediately was like, okay, what is this? This is like an announcement of an announcement. What does this mean? It's vague and confusing and all that stuff. And then at the same time, you also had the Evil Geniuses players, or some of them at least, come out and put out their own like vague tweet. I think Vulcan did the like expect the unexpected, which is a reference back to I think his C9 days whenever people were memeing about with that tweet or that line. But I started asking around and combining it with some stuff that I'd heard recently, and it sounds like Evil Geniuses is going to go mega budget. Mega budget was the word or a phrase that one of my sources used, so I don't know what mega budget means, but it does look like they are looking to cut costs because they are on the upper end, or have been at least, of the upper end of spending in the LCS. And while things are still developing, I've heard that there's a good chance that you should expect to see almost all, if not all, of the current players off of that team. And again, things are still developing. You hear from some people that 2 players are leaving, then you start to hear more, but more and more people I'm talking to are saying that like a lot of the players are being told like, hey, we're going to send you someplace else. You're not going to be playing for Evil Geniuses anymore. There's been rumors that JoJo might be the only one staying. I don't know. Again, this is all in flux, and quite frankly, there's a good chance that it's on flux on the EG side too. So I'm just giving you guys the information as I hear it. People don't always understand that, like, whenever I do one of these videos, things are oftentimes more fluid, and people want like a definitive answer whenever, from my understanding, the players don't even have the most definitive answer at the moment. Now, I do want to mention that it doesn't seem as though it's all about, how much money can you get on the buyouts, because it sounds as though it's not going to be necessarily who has the highest bid, which I hope means that the players have some say in where they end up going. Personally, I feel like there's a really good chance that Vulcan ends up on FlyQuest. So if you're a FlyQuest fan, I think you should be rooting for that if you're a believer in Vulcan. And it makes sense that they'd be probably looking to make a support position trade, and Vulcan is definitely one of the best support players in the league. But yeah, I think this is a cost-cutting move, because a lot of, if you've been living under a rock, a lot of esports teams are looking to save money right now. Now, everyone positions that as esports is dying or whatever, but I think it's happening across the board, not just in LCS. For the LCS doomers, I mean, obviously there were reports around EA and Vulcan and Valorant on the C9 side, and so I don't think that this is necessarily just like LCS. But it is indicative of where we're at. And a lot of people might have missed this, but I did an interview with John Needham earlier this week, and who's the president of esports at Riot, for those that don't know. And one of the things I brought up was basically a lot of sources telling me that the teams had formally requested to Riot to remove the requirement to field challenger teams for the summer as a cost-cutting measure. And if you go look at that interview, which you can, it's on the channel, it's pretty good, you'll see that he basically confirms it, and not so many words. I mean, he says that it's something that they're considering, and they take those types of requests seriously, and they know that they need to save money. So, and then I've talked to many more people who have essentially confirmed it for me in as many words. So, yeah, I mean, people are looking to save money. I don't know if EG is the only team that we'll see do this, but they're the only one I've heard so far are doing this. I do want to say I'm quite disappointed to hear it because I think EG had a pretty compelling roster for a while. They obviously did really well last year, and while they weren't as competitive this year as I think that they would have liked to be, they still had a fun lineup and were interesting and were a brand that people were starting to gain affinity for. And seeing this happen whenever, there's a good chance that they just become like another Immortals or Dignitas, quite frankly, if depending on how budget they go, and what they put together. That would be pretty disappointing because I think the league needs awesome brands with cool rosters. So I guess maybe this will, FlyQuest is the new EG, newer org in terms of new ownership and branding and leadership, and obviously putting up good results with some newer players. I don't know, whatever. We'll see how things go. Thanks so much for watching this video. And if you're watching this just as it's released, I'm talking about it over on my Twitch channel, which there's a link in the description on YouTube, or maybe you're watching this on my Twitch channel, in which case you should send a Prime sub. Thanks again. And rather than do like a formal outro for Alienware, I'm just going to talk about the Alienware M18 right now, which is an amazing laptop. You can go check it out at alienware.com/Travis. Actually love that notebook. Can't wait to get one myself, but I've had a chance to take a look at it and see the reviews, and it's pretty cool. So go check out Alienware. They sponsor my stuff. They make videos like this possible and coverage like this possible. Thanks so much. Bye.